There it is.
Ah, shit.
Alrighty, quiet on the set. Rolling intros.
All right. Quiet on the set. You're listening to WRFB Radio Free Britannia. Coming to you live from Deltona, Florida. With two idiots misinterpreting the news so you don't have to. Lunch with Laz and Jack.
Greetings, everybody. This is Laz.
And this is Jack. Welcome to another exciting edition of Lunch with Laz and Jack, where we interpret the Shroud of the Avatar news so you don't have to do anything other than question your own personal life choices and ours.
Tina, singing that theme song out there. How you doing, Tina? Bridge troll, exclamation. How about them Yankees? I don't know. How about them Yankees? They doing good? I don't really follow anymore.
No. So let's go with how we ended the show the other day before our break. Someone asked.
Someone said,
why don't we cover all the positive developments coming out of?
Why don't you just read his whole comment? It's there.
Well, I can't.
Sure.
Where is it?
Just scroll back in my chat, or did you lose that?
I can't.
Oh, well then here.
I do not. Yeah.
Then I will give you a copy of it. Even better. How about that?
Yeah.
I will send you a copy to read. How about that? Makes if I can hit the right button there. There we go. Let me give you. Oops, that's not it. That's not it. That's our announcement into. Let's see here.
Yeah. Or Laz, you can read it off.
Yeah, if I can't get it this time. There it is.
That copy and pasting is difficult.
There it is.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it didn't want to copy and paste, but this came from Bane Rampage at the end of our show.
My thing is, if I was a new player and just found this site, I would never play this game based on the attitude you guys have about the game. 99% of everything said is negative about Soda, so I don't see it helping the game as much as it would turn new players away, is all I'm thinking. Hell, like I said, if I just found this, I would never play this game based off of listening to these guys, is all I'm saying. Maybe a bit more input about good things in the game. Holy shit, that's loud.
Wow, what was that?
Oh,
Awfully loud ringing.
okay. Well, it looks like I'm going to have to join that call. But, and I responded with, absolutely, we can do that. Please suggest all of the great things that are new and exciting. Tina with the response, they do give credit when they do something good. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen often. And Laz, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Did you lose me?
I can't hear you anymore.
I don't know. I can't.
I heard you all until that call. It's like, which
I don't know.
Silly, right?
I'm here.
What? Yeah. Now I can hear you. But I got to go join this call, so I'll let you cover everything else.
Okay, well, thank you to our newest follower, Krazuka. Welcome to the stream. And Segalian says, not Lass and Jack, but this is why I got into streaming. Everything about the game online is negative. And British Troll says, I thought about that. If we turn new players away because they too do not want to be dissatisfied, I'm okay with that. Yes. Fishing is the devil. Got all sorts of interesting comments out there, but yes, absolutely. Again, a lot of the commentary, a lot of the topics, including topics that you're going to hear today, are not our topics. We take all of our topics either from outside news sources, as you're going to see here shortly, or from suggestions from other players or complaints from other players of things that haven't been fixed since day one, you know. And again, my big one, my personal one, I know you're all tired of hearing it. I'm not going to get on the soapbox, but maps.
Yeah, maps.
Big example, maps, you know. If you're gonna turn people away and turn them off really quickly, and not having a full map system implemented is one of the easiest ways to do that. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, since time. Immorally, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Chris said there was 5,000 unique logons on the weekend. Isn't that what he said?
Where did you say that?
I know it was yesterday, I believe.
Yesterday? Who said that where? Show me.
Yeah. Where did I read that? I can't remember.
Yeah, so Gallion, I tend to agree with you, including some of the articles we're about to go into as well here. Segalian says, I feel that a lot of sources are unfairly negative. This is really a good game. There's really a good game and experience at the core of Soda, and it isn't all terrible. Yeah, the core is okay. Again, it's not exactly what we all paid for, but okay. This Tina's getting heavy on us now. But yeah, let's start with some patch notes real quick. Patch notes came out yesterday. They say 12 a.m., but it wasn't actually at 12 a.m., so whoever posted that lied, because the actual time for this... Krazuka with the sub. Thank you very much, Krazuka. And being a new follower here, Krazuka, please let us know. We do a couple of things here with a new subscriber or with a subscription or 500 bits or more. We will stop what we're doing and play a game of marbles, or we will continue on with the news. We leave that to you because we're the only stream that we're aware of that lets the users change the programming here just for doing some support for us. So would you like us to continue with the news, or would you like to play a game of marbles for a chance to win a mystery game key and some in-game scrolls?
Oh, no.
First time here, just carry on. Absolutely. You'll get the gist of things. And again, welcome. Glad to have you. And thank you for the follow and thank you for the sub. We do appreciate it. But patch notes, let me get back over here. I was running over here to see exactly when this post was actually put out on the forums. Where is it? I know it's right here, and I'm not seeing it. Patch. March 25th. Photos. Patch being deployed. Happened at 1:14 a.m. So not exactly 12 a.m., but it did happen shortly after midnight last night. Patch notes.
Patch notes?
Yes. Big patch notes.
3 lines, I believe.
The March sales have been turned off. Double XP turned off. The contaminated waters of New Britannia have been cleansed. 2 of which should have been able to be done server side.
All 3 should have been able to be done server side, but that's neither here nor there. But let's hit this first big topic. Is coming from our good friends over at MMORPG. Because these guys, and this is not actually MMORPGs, they're not too shabby, but they mentioned the game here, and I was doing some other. I get these articles again. A lot of this stuff comes directly to me from the NBNN Daily Britannian, which is coming to an end. Farming is good.
I know.
Is radiation treatment included in the patch notes? Unfortunately not. And
I need to see.
Irate Sonata, thank you for the follow.
Time immemorial ends and legal memory begins at 1189. I need to know where that's coming from.
Yeah, it's Tina getting really philosophical on us.
Kickstarted MMORPGs are dead. There, I said it. And honestly, it's about time people accept the harsh reality that crowdfunding just isn't a viable option for indie studios anymore. Sure, we can argue that there have been some successes in crowdfunding in the past, but when compared to the vast number of pipe dream MMORPGs that set up to the proverbial plate and completely strike out, they are few and far between, and the failures have been numerous and spectacular. It feels as though time moves forward for MMORPGs at an ever-accelerating rate. The new flashy fads are shorter and less impactful, and that also seemed to go for the way games are being funded. Traditional development funding will always be the most prominent for MMORPGs because persistent online games that are actually worth playing take millions of dollars to make. Over the years, well, it's something. Over the years, smaller development studios have tried to utilize crowdfunding through Kickstarter campaigns as they attempt to make their MMO dreams come true. However, it's taken just over a decade of Kickstarter, much less in the way of consistent crowdfunded MMO failures, for gamers to learn that backing a Kickstarter MMO is about as good as use of their money as a slot machine, except you can't win.
Oh, no.
Now, this I really love right here. So let's look at this because this is fucking laughable.
Yes. Let's take a look at some of the most highly funded Kickstarter MMORPGs in recent years. Crowfar, for example, raised over $1.7 million from backers, and their Kickstarter campaign started in March 2015. It eventually went through an lengthy early access phase, and it's safe to say that when it finally launched in July of 2021, it did not live up to expectations. It was riddled with bugs, gameplay was lackluster, and it just wasn't that appealing even to their core audience. Crowfall was eventually sold to Monumental, who aimed to fix the game. Unfortunately, we know how that turned out. Monumental took the game completely offline and retreated into closed development for the foreseeable future. But Crowdfall is just one example. Another highly funded Kickstarter MMORPG, such as Shroud of the Avatar Pathfinder Online. City of Titans have also failed to live up to expectations, and that's not even counting games that appear.
Would you do me the favor?
Well,
do the honors.
There you go.
There the honors. Thank you.
You didn't get the guy in mine.
Oh, I didn't see the guy in yours. Okay.
Yeah, there's a. Well, I was on another call, but
I didn't see or hear that one come in.
Yep. Have also failed to live up to expectation. That's not even counting games that appear just to be completely mismanaged, questionable, or outright scam-like. It's hard for any developer to make it in the crowd-funded world when you have the Chronicles of Illyria, Greedmonger, and Dreamworld out there.
It seems like Illyria is doing pretty good, actually.
Well, I mean, if you remember.
Oh, sorry. Legends of Aria. Legends of Aria, not Chronicles of Illyria.
Yeah.
Sorry. My bad. My bad. Yeah. I got the two confused. Never mind.
Yeah.
Well.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, well, Dyson, that's my biggest problem with this fucking guy right off the bat. Is not a single fucking mention of Star Citizen, and $1 billion, half $1 billion with a B, $1 billion raised. Yeah. 10 years of development, and they're still in alpha. But we're gonna get to that in the next article, so don't worry about it. And in the comments.
Minor technical problem last week. Hold on.
Well, if you're playing you're playing what I play is we play. The community server for the Ultima Online remake over at Legends of Aria.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I forgot what it's called.
Yes, it's still not released.
Yeah, still not released. Then the developers are set a funding goal of just 10,000. They're only able to raise 64,000. What? 10,000. 60 raised 64. While that may be a win for the developers in this instance, by no means could anyone expect that they would deliver on their promises in their Kickstarter. That pays one person's salary for almost a year, so they got a year to work on it. Almost. It's like three-quarters of a person, half a person, depending on how much you're paying them.
Oops.
Sure, we do have some kickstarted MMORPGs that have launched and have done fairly well. Zenith, The Last City is probably the only virtual reality MMO worth playing at the moment.
Never heard of it.
I never heard of that.
Temptum is a popular cross-platform creature battler. And we do have a few highly anticipated games on the horizon that seem to be doing very well. Pantheon, Rises of Creation, and Ashes of Creation. I thought Ashes of Creation also had a bunch of other shit news, like really bad comments about it.
Yeah, 9 years ago and 6 years ago. Now let's just remember that Shroud of the Avatar has actually been released and playable, where none of these others, for the most part that he's mentioning, have even made it that far.
Well, I mean, released in playable, yes, and it's still receiving patches to like the main storyline. Yes.
Well, this is a good start when it came out. Shoot.
Yeah.
Just couldn't maintain it. That's all.
Yeah. For example, just the past couple of months, we've had 12 failed MMORPG and persistent MMORPG Kickstarters come and go. Some of them could hardly be considered a contender as a real project, like Everchange, which might be more of a joke than an honest attempt of creating an MMORPG. Others have actually put some effort, and in the light of reading, and in the right light, could be the next Chronicles of Illyria with eye-catching proposals like Eplitz. Yes, few of them have gained any traction, and most don't even get remotely close to funding, even when some of them ask for a measly $2,128.
We're gonna make a game with $2,000.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. We're just going to buy the Unity assets and use ChatGPT to create the game. There are too many issues when it comes to crowdfunded MMOs. There's an issue of trust after so many high-profile failures and scams. Backers are understandably wary of funding new MMORPG projects. They've also been burned too many times before, and they don't want to take that risk again. There's the issue of time. Players don't want to back something in 2015 and still not be able to get in and play the game in 2023 without mentioning
Star Citizen, who hasn't launched a game in over 10 years and has raised $500 million fucking dollars.
Yeah. When there are thousands of early access titles out there on Steam and other platforms that give you direct access to the game during development, it's just not worth the risk for gamers to throw money at crowdfunded projects anymore. Kickstarter MMORPGs had their moment in the sun, but that moment has passed. It's time for indie developers to start looking elsewhere to fund their games, as the Kickstarter gold rush is no more. Flashy videos and original concept art just won't cut it when you're begging for money to fund a possible game that might release someday in the future eventually. Have you ever kickstarted a game? If so, would you ever fund one again?
Yeah.
No. Hell no.
No. Followed by Star Citizen tops $550 million in crowdfunding, reaching over $4 million.
I was going to go down to some of the comments, but we don't really need to do that because the comments kick this guy's ass. But yeah. Let's go here because this was the next one. Yeah. $550 million, over $500 million.
Yep.
4 million registered players. Let's delve into this because, again, I appreciate what they did here, whether it's actually too truthful or not, but we'll discuss that in a minute.
Okay. Cloud Imperium Games continues to break crowdfunding records. Star Citizen is now surpassed the $550 million mark, and its development is still far from over. Star Citizen now has more than 4.4 million registered users or citizens at the moment of writing. CIG reached $554 million, blah, 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 in crowdfunding. Thus, the average pledge per one citizen is $124.60.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. Yes, Iron and Magic, the spiritual successor to Tabula Rasa. Or Ultima 10. Ultima 10, dude. Spiritual successor to Ultima 10.
Dyson, which Facebook page did you get banned from? Iron and Magic? It's pretty hard considering that the developers don't post anything.
Yeah, Star
Why would
Citizen.
you get banned?
Oh, Star Citizen. Star Citizen. Okay.
Why?
Yes. And then Star Citizen, I mean, it's like, dude, seriously, stop repeating the same shit. Star Citizen surpassed the 500 million mark last September. So it took Cloud Imperium Games around 5 months to raise another 50 million. According to CCU Game, users pledged 113 million towards the development of Star Citizen in 2022, which is 31% compared to the previous year. Around 8 million has been donated since the beginning of 2023. And when it comes to video games, there's no title even close to Star Citizen in terms of raised funds. The second most crowd-funded game is Richard Garriott's infamous RPG Shroud of the Avatar with 11.8 million, followed by Shenmue 3, 6.3, Chronicles of Illyria, 6.1, Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night, 5.5, and Torment, Tides of Numenera. Numenera. Yeah, CIG launched a Kickstarter campaign for Star Citizen in 2012, with the game initially expected to come out in 2014. However, after 10 years in the making, it still has no release date. The same is true for the game's story mode, Squadron 42. The company continues to regularly release diaries, keeping fans updated on development progress. The latest video goes deep into the new features like mining, which are expected to become added in the upcoming Alpha 3.19.
Now, this is one of the things that really gets me. The company continues regular release diaries, keeping fans updated on development progress, and goes into new features like mining, which of course raises $50 million in 5 months.
I got another fucking work call.
Yeah. But point being here is that this is a team that is constantly kept everybody abreast. I get weekly updates through email. They do weekly streams. They do all sorts of tweets. They do all sorts of, holy crap, what is that? Is that your cat in front of the camera? That was up close and personal there. But, raised over $500 million plus.
How many developers they got?
They've got a shit ton, metric shit ton of developers because they can afford it with $500 million, billion B, not $500,000 B, billion, $500,000 plus. Yeah.
There you go.
They do keep updating. They fucked me over, but they keep updating me on it. Oh, Tina, do tell. What happened to you? New ships are creating or some crap instead of working on the game. Yeah. Tyson, I don't know. I do know that, what is the actual, what are they? Cloud Imperium is, I believe, what both of them run under, don't they? Doesn't Squadron 42 and Star Citizen both run on the Cloud Imperium? That's my understanding. That's where I get my emails from. But at any rate, yeah, is the thing that really caught me here is, and Jack and I have argued over this, and it's really not much of an argument because while we were the second most crowdfunded game in history at one point, that was based on the $1.9 million from the Kickstarter. Apparently, they're taking into account all the money raised afterwards with almost 12 million, 11.8 million, still keeping Shroud of the Avatar in second place, which again isn't a bad place to be when you come down to it. Especially when you're up against Chris Roberts' Star Citizen, beating everybody, badly when it comes to that, but nobody comes close after that. The next nearest competitor is half as much so, with 6.3 millions with,
Never heard.
Yeah, so I mean, when you really think about it, and of course, again, we had a release. We had a release party. We've released a game. We're constantly working, constantly updating. So, well, Red Dragon, apparently, they haven't released yet, so everything in funding prior to this is still crowdfunding. The idea is we're talking the term crowdfunding. We're not talking Kickstarter. We're talking crowdfunding. Yeah, exactly. So the quick Kickstarter. That again, why I say that Shroud still holds that second place because we're talking crowdfunding, just basically, not just Kickstarter. Back to the very farcical article by this author here, who really has no clue, and he doesn't even include Star Citizen. And well, he says Kickstarter here. So Kickstarter, yes. Red Dragon, episode one, as far as I'm concerned, is done. There's a start point, there's an end point. The fact that they're going and still fixing typos and floating items and other silly stuff to, clean it up, and they want to keep messing with. Yeah, there goes that great AFK bug.
Everybody's standing up.
Yeah, everybody's standing up because nobody was looking at this screen here. Yeah.
Sit down.
But when it comes to crowdfunding, yes, we hold the second highest crowdfunded game in history, and with that, I can't say enough, especially when the competitor is Star Citizen, and then everybody else doesn't even come half as close to what we did as backers of a game like this. So, again, the fact that we've been doing this 9+ years now, doing this show 5 days a week, bringing you guys the news in this game, whether you want to consider it complete, whether you don't want to consider it complete, whether you have problems with it, whether you don't have problems with it, whether you enjoy it, whether you don't enjoy it, the fact still remains that for all these years we've been out here and we've been doing things, and it's people have been having fun doing it, and that's really what it comes down to. So when a game is crowdfunding, there are no primary investors to put pressure on the devs to finish the game. Well, that's where we come in. We feel, Dwip, is as a couple of the only remaining whales, Bridge Troll's another one out there. As they call us, whales, because of the money we put into it. Yes, it is the butt of the hour. I am aware of that. Just happening right now. Let's get that out of the way. But if there weren't folks like us who continually sit here and harp on the things that need to be taken care of, well, then all the other people who got annoyed and walked away and took their money and left, well, yeah, because Bridge Troll is still here. Bridge Troll joins in the conversation every day. Bridge Troll does come out to events. Bridge Troll still logs in. While he is not actively supporting with funds, I still consider him here for the most part. So, Mom's going to get herself some bottles, as Jack needs to pull his butt of the hour if he hasn't already done it. Tina got his. Okay, I see he did that. So congratulations, Mom and Tina, as we reopen the giveaways. There we go. And let's get Mom. Come on. Let's get Mom her prize.
Did Jack reopen his giveaway?
Gary.
I don't know if he reopened his. Probably not yet. But there you go, Mom. Hope you win something good.
How many subscribers do they have that monthly thing?
We don't know because they won't release the information. At one point, again, this was probably, I want to say, almost 2 years ago now. We were able to, they had mentioned some numbers, and then, of course, somebody went through the API and got all the Kodo numbers, and they were able to ascertain that they were pulling in about 70,000 a month, roughly, between Kodo sales and subscriptions. But apparently 70,000 a month wasn't enough to keep as many developers on as we would like. Although I would think that 70,000 a month would keep quite a few developers on. Even 50,000 a month would keep quite a few developers on. But yeah, again, why don't we have access to an API that tells us how many people are online? Why don't we have access to tell us, subscribers? I mean, they give us Kodo sales, so I mean, why not the other stuff? That's a good question, but it is what it is.
$10 a month, right? Is that what it is?
You coding your own sandbox over New World, or you just playing New World while you're coding your own sandbox? Is that what you're saying? As Patch Up says, so I'm not a whale, but a large guppy. Oh, you're making your own sandbox in Unity? Yeah, well, let us know. I'll be happy to come play test for you whenever you're ready. Patosh, again, usually I go by the number of players I see on my list, and then I usually double this just as an average because, as far as I know, and nobody's challenged me on it, including Lord British over the years, I probably have the uh, largest number of friends on a friends list in the game. I stopped counting a couple years ago, and at that point, I had over 10,000 people on my friends list that was on this accepted list. And then I had several thousand here of people who I've actually friended but never accepted. I think there was like 2,000 of those total. But when it comes down to knowing, yeah, because the API doesn't actually have that info exactly. And the Steam charts usually only show the people playing through Steam, so people who play through the regular client aren't listed, and you just don't know. So again, that's one of those things one of those numbers I'd like to see. I'd like to see numbers like that so we know how many people are actually playing.
I don't see a lot, so I don't see them.
Yeah, he didn't just not dispute it; he acknowledged it. Thank you, Tina. Absolutely, he absolutely acknowledged the fact that I probably had him beat by a mile. And some people have even joked that they should make a Steam achievement to friend me in game.
How many you got on right now?
Right now, I think I saw 49, was it? Yeah, 49 players online. So I want to say probably about 100 players that, again, I'd usually like to double it. And again, not everybody, who is new. I had somebody who was at Crazed Scavenger the other day told me that he's seeing and adding like 20 new people a day, but he's out there actively running around the world a lot more than I am. I usually only add people when I'm out. Either they pop in here, or when I'm out doing my vendor refill runs, and I keep this window open and I see names that I don't recognize. I'll right click on them, and if they're not a friend, I just automatically add them as a friend.
Oh, you're one of those, huh?
2,029 people killed something yesterday.
229.
Where do you see that?
PvE leaderboard.
Let's see. In the PvP,
not perfect. It doesn't count people that come in and sit on their lot all day, but it's better than nothing.
That was yesterday.
No, I see 229 people died yesterday. I have a lot of people with kills.
No. PvE kills.
Oh, PvE kills. I wasn't looking at that. PvE kills. So yeah, so there's 229 people on as of yesterday. And that actually, I don't know, is that right? The ties, I guess, the bottom number is actually the high number, right? Yeah.
And then, but that, like I said, it doesn't count people that come in and sit on their lot all day.
Yeah,
Or
like Jack and I.
yeah.
Or
So it's
somebody
not
like
100% accurate, but it's
like
better than
yourself who crafts all day and doesn't get out there a whole lot some days. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
So I mean,
better than nothing.
there's a good way to look at it. So at least 230 people were online yesterday. Um, that's a good yardstick there, Mom, and thanks for pointing that out.
Where the heck
So
are they?
under PVE kills.
They're in the new. Must be in the new players areas, I guess.
Wait, Laz, are you looking at Sodagraphs or a different website?
Looking at the actual leaderboards under
Oh,
PVE kills.
because Sodagraphs.com estimated that like there was 127 players a day.
Oh, again, yesterday, 229 people killed some kind of monster in the game.
Yeah.
If we go to 30 days, let's see what 30 days says. 30. There we go. 30 days tells us there's been 1,135 people over the last 30 days. Last 7 days,
Divide that by 30.
549. Well, why would you divide that by 30, Led Zepp?
Per day.
Huh?
Per day.
Oh, on the 30 days? Well, I don't have to do that. In the last 30 days, that's how many people were. And yesterday there was 229. I mean, I can see yesterday.
Not actually. Well, it is 30 days. Yeah, divided by 30. Get the average per day.
Hey, what about the months that have 31 or the ones that only have like 28? Eh?
Yeah, well.
Every month has 28.
The average, man.
That's right. Tell him, Jack. Every month has 28 days.
Hey, Jack, is your giveaway reopened on your side?
For the bundles, yes. There, I just hit the announce button.
There it is.
For you. There. Am I spamming that for you?
Same thing with Elixir also. We don't create.
Well, the average be anywhere near 249. I don't know. So let's run that number. Let's see.
33
Well,
per day.
that's where it's like
And I see the same problem with
like Sodagraphs, which uses the public API data.
So question for Evgeny would be how to
33 per day.
37.8 per day.
Let's execute jobs.
If you take that number and divide by 30. But again, yesterday,
Some are less.
yeah, I can't go by that average considering that there were 230 people on yesterday. That just doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense. Maybe they were all on yesterday.
Well, that's pretending that the leaderboard actually works properly when you know it doesn't always work properly.
Shroud math.
Yes.
We already have ticket.
You have to interject that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, how do you bring up that leaderboard thing?
You go to your
Your
Windows
pane
selector.
thing,
Aren't you watching?
First
window pane thingy.
first thing there, and go to leaderboards.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
On the screen right now. There it is.
Anyway,
I mean, it's kind of like the units of measure in Shroud for like if you go to fish and you go to like the largest caught,
Yeah.
it's 3.92 what? Considering the unit of measure for everything else in the game is like meters.
meters, yeah.
Units, that covers everything.
Talking about fish. Fish. Let's talk about the fish tank drop rate. The tank fish drop rate. How about that? Maybe mom can enlighten us on this as well.
Where'd you get that?
Hold on.
Yeah. API says
Tonk fish drop rate. Let's see.
that API is slow to load, man.
Yeah, well. Optimization, optimization, optimization.
Has anyone else noticed a change in the drop rate for the fish tank? Curious if this was adjusted and we just haven't been told about it. Darn angelfish is being very elusive. I went to check the API, but they had. Yeah, and I see angelfish in the leaderboard. 63 caught in the last 30 days. Yes, I saw that, but there's none in the last 6. I think they have been removed from the API. I checked Clownfish 2, which is the most popular. Shroud of the Avatar.tools says 3 in the last 7 days.
What?
API search.
Somebody's using the wrong filters.
Well, I mean, it's like sodagraphs.com would also browse general. Oh.
Takes a long time.
Yeah, fish tank fish. Go to sodagraphs.com. Much cooler.
Yeah, I don't use any of them.
I know, but much cooler. Someone's actually created dashboards for things. Angelfish.
What do they got?
They're just low. 2 were dropped yesterday. Or, no, wait. The 16th was the last.
What was the
16th was the last time that one dropped for an angelfish. According to the public stats.
What?
Yeah. And in fact, they haven't had any since the last patch.
What was that 63 number?
Again, I see 3 as of last update. So 3 in the leaderboards.
You're pretending that the leaderboard is actually like
Well,
accurate.
what makes you think that's any more accurate? What do you think it's getting the information from?
Public stats? I don't know.
Where do you think it's getting the information from, Jack? It's getting the information the same place this is pulling the information from. Come on, be realistic.
Yeah.
Be realistic here.
They dive.
That Shroud math is taking place. Yes.
Yeah, Tina. Oh, show what's been sold on player vendors. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that maybe tomorrow. I don't know. It depends on how much time we have left.
Nothing was sold.
I think it's just weird that, like, since the last patch last week, like, what may have happened is they may have broken the public stats API.
You think?
Stop that.
Mom says she can confirm that tankfish have been removed from the public API. Really?
What?
You tell.
Yes. It's been publicly and privately confirmed. Justin told me just because, but Allie somewhere on the Shroud Discord channel was talking to someone and said that they have been removed.
From the public API.
Why?
I do not know. It is not.
Because they're going
You will
to
have to do
consider
your
them like
newsman jig and talk
artifacts.
to your people.
I'm sorry.
But
What was
as
it?
far as drop rate, I don't know. My loot table sucks balls. All I can get are clownfish and blue tangs. So I do not know anything about drop rate. All I know is for sure they have been removed from the public API.
Yeah, well, we know that they, what's the word, redacted where you could actually find these fish in the release notes, which I thought was pretty freaking stupid. But according to what we're reading here, if you want the clownfish Your best bet is, or was it the angelfish? The best bet is Castle Atos.
Okay, it is. I think it has a lot. They want people to go out. It got out because people got lazy. And the first longfin bannerfish was caught in Grusk. So everybody assumes, because that's where they found it in the API, that that's the only place to fucking get it.
People are
Now, things we know for sure, blue tangs, clownfish, I think it's the bannerfish, yellow tang, they're all, it's water type, not location. Goldfish, angelfish are freshwater. As far as I know, the rest are salt.
Okay,
Beyond
very
that,
interesting.
as far as I've been told, it is not location based, so go out and fish and have fun.
Yeah, is where was
water type?
Let's get back to the topic on hand here.
But as I said, as far as drop rates, I don't know. Doesn't matter what game I play, my loot table sucks.
Yeah.
Me and Justin can tell you hysterical stories about that.
I'm going to drop right down to Bergen's post here where he says, I fished for a total of 8 hours so far and got nothing. A big donut. Yeah. Spending my gaming time fishing is not my idea of fun. And I would have to agree with him is when you come into a game like this and, you have a limited time. Yeah. Well, not just that, but, if he's looking for something in particular, I caught a blue tang in the fishing contest, within an hour this past weekend. So, I mean, it's not like it took forever to get that, but if it took me an hour to get that one, how long does it take to get the whole collection? I mean, right now, all I've got is these 2 fish for my collection. I think we got the blue tang and the clownfish here, and I think that's all I got in my other tank is just those 2. And I'll be damned if I'm going to be wasting even 1 or 2 hours going out trying to get the others. I'll just do what I usually do and just go out there and go, hey, who's got this fish for sale? Sell it to me, because I ain't got the time nor the patience.
2 of the other ones.
What's that?
We'll talk later. I know where you can buy 2 of the other ones.
Oh, well, if it's the same place where I got the original ones, then I know where to go. So thank you. I will go there afterwards and make my purchase. Thank you, Mom. Because you know I always like to support my local Clan of the Wolf vendors. But yes, that's just a little bit too tedious to spend 8 hours trying to find something that And again, I don't see. I mean, again, I never really understood fishing in the sense of I understand if it's something that you're using. Like in New World. New World has a mechanic where you go get X amount, you bring them back, and it's a quest type thing. Red Dead Redemption has something where you go fish and you get something and you bring it back, and it's a quest type thing.
Laz, you're forgetting something. Those teams, they have teams to develop things.
Right. How many fishing quests do we have in this game?
They have teams to develop things.
Doesn't matter. How long do you think it takes to go, get me 10 of these and bring it to this guy and get a prize? How long do you think we've got 300 other ones, copy it, change the fucking text, make it fish. It's not that hard to copy a script that already exists and turn it into something else, dude. You know that, I know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bring me 10 feathers, bring me 10 bones, bring me 10 pieces of wood. Just change it to fucking fish,
Yes.
Like the supply boxes. Do the supply boxes take fish? Are supply boxes actually a fish?
No, not yet.
I'm waiting for.
Oh, wait a minute.
Where is it?
There might be one for fish.
He's not sure. Okay, Who all would complain about fetch quests? Yeah, well, see, there's a lot of people who complain about fetch quests too. So I mean, you can't please everybody, Sigalian. You know what I'm saying? But if you're gonna introduce something like this, make it worthwhile. I mean, the trophies.
Well,
I gotta admit, really great
that actually
thing.
creates a problem. So there's really a limited number of different types of quests.
I think there's 3, right? Is what the basic rule of thumb was: the fetch quest, the kill quest, and
kill, fetch, then combo quest, delivery quest, escort quest.
Well, delivery quest is a fetch quest. Same thing.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah.
But so this is a great opportunity for this Wikipedia article. And just scroll down to the mission types.
Yeah, hang on. Let me get there.
Just scroll down to the mission types.
Mission types. Here we go.
Missionary.
Yes.
Missionary types.
Okay, we're there.
Okay. How many escort-based missions are there in Shroud?
One that I know of.
Like, wasn't that the Charlotte thing?
Yeah, that's the very first opening scene.
Okay. I think that's the only one I can think of.
Yeah,
combat-based mission. How many kill count quests are there? There was like go kill like a wolf pack. There are a few of these early on when all of the quests were in the Hidden Vale. How many of them are there in the overworld in Novia?
I don't know of any I mean, you're supposed to go kill the alpha wolf, wasn't it? Not just the wolf pack.
Yeah.
You have to go find the alpha wolf and get that. That was basically a delivery based mission.
But how many of those are on the overworld on Novia, not in the Hidden Vale?
None that I'm aware of.
Oh. How many rescue-based missions can you think of?
Again, none that I'm aware of.
Collect certain number of items?
Several.
Some of the daily quests.
Well, not even that. There's several through the storyline where you have to go dig up something and bring them to the children, and you got to go collect X amount of bones, and you have to go collect X amount of wood. So there's several of those actually. Yeah.
Okay. How many delivery based? You've got the mail.
The mail.
Yeah. Pursuit based missions. Pursue and assassinate or capture the enemy, and the players must escape. None.
Yeah, not that I can say.
Boss-based mission? None.
No, I wouldn't say that. You got a couple of them. You don't have to
kill any of the fucking... You don't have to kill any of that. And Krazuka's like, people do the mail. Occasionally you will see a forum post about someone that...
Yeah, you will.
And it's like, what?
You don't think that the Phoenix is a boss-based mission? I think the Phoenix is definitely a boss.
Actually, then yes. In order to get those skills, which
I
still haven't done a single one of those yet.
Yeah, there's several of those throughout the game, whether you want to agree to it or not. There actually are.
Well, actually, yeah. In that case, like the NV Angel would also be like a boss.
Exactly. The NV Angel.
So there are several of those.
The
defense.
Death Bunny. I mean, these are all examples of
the seasonal bosses. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Defense-based mission. The players have to protect a stationary object or character from incoming enemies. Woohoo! Is that the control points?
Technically, it would be, yes.
Yeah, I know.
And some others.
The stealth-based missions don't have any of those. The time-based mission, there's at least one of those. Did your audio go dead again?
No.
I thought I saw your mouth moving, but no audio coming.
Stealth-based mission, time-based mission.
What is that?
Players have a set amount of time to complete a mission.
Yeah, see, this what I'm thinking about isn't actually you have a set amount of time, but that
it occurs on a certain in-game time.
It occurs on a certain time base, yes, which is technically a time-based mission, yeah.
But at the same time, if you're inside that scene at that time, within a certain time, it's still there.
Yeah,
I kind of remember a timer.
How about destroy based? The player must destroy a certain number or all objects. Kind of, sort of, with some of the traps and the puzzles that are in a few of them. Race based mission.
Done.
Player must complete a number of laps, circuits, or sprints against players or AI racers. The game's not really designed around that.
You could call the whatchamacallit, the quest. What the hell is the name of that? You had to go around to each one of the robots and get something. That could be a race based. The hell's the name of it? I'm trying to think of them. But anyway, I think you all get the idea here of what could be added. But the big idea right now is it's time for us to wrap things up for today and get the flock out of here.
Oh yeah, and there's also no real search based or QTE based missions. But yeah.
Well, yeah. The QTE must press or tap the correct button in a short period of time. Actually, there are several of those throughout the game. There are several trap-based. There's the gate out in the desert that you have to light the candles in the proper order. There's several of those throughout the game. But yeah, But anyway,
you know what? Giveaways are being done. Jigoku is getting a Steam key, and a streamer bundle is going to Lomir, and Jigoku's getting a copy of Swine HD Remaster.
Mom's getting herself another set of bottles as we pick the final winner of the day, and that's going to go to Andrea, Kill On Sight. And Andrea, you're going to get yourself a copy of Eternal Threads. Eternal Threads going out to Andrea. Congratulations. And of course, thank you to Krazuka and to Irate Sonata for the follows. Thank you, Krazuka, for the sub. I do appreciate it, and welcome to the stream. Look forward to seeing you out there on the regular. We're here 5 days a week, except for those weeks where we're not here 5 days a week. But meanwhile, we will be back with more tomorrow right here at Fruck Awesome Friday on NBNN. Till then, nom nom nom. I'm Laz.
I'm Jack.
And we are NBNN. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye-bye.